Wilderness. It is a place of raw natural beauty, a place where the landscape seems to speak a primal language that touches the human soul. We hear the voice of the Creator in a whispering pine or a babbling brook. We seek this peaceful oasis in an often chaotic world, and it becomes an adventurous, rejuvenating escape. For many of us, exploring this vast natural world is when we feel the most at home. And for the lucky few who get to venture here often, wilderness is a way of life that keeps us in touch with the divine majesty that is our great outdoors. Today's wilderness exploration resumes on the second part of our journey into the far reaches of Northwest Ontario. We are headed into some remote locations to chase several different species of fish. Pike, walleye, brookies, and lakers are all on the docket. And when combined with the awe-inspiring serenity of the Canadian wild, this father-son vacation quickly becomes the fishing trip of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Mike McFarland, and welcome to the Colorado Wickedfisha. On today's program, we'll be picking up right where we left off from part one of our Ontario fishing trip of a lifetime. In part two, you can join us as we hammer some more great pike, huge Nipigon brook trout, and even a few river run lake trout coming up from Lake Superior on the Nipigon River. The scenery is tremendous, the bite is on, and it all comes together to make for some wicked fishing. I'm sure excited to see what happens on the program. I hope you guys are too. Let's get wicked.
Well guys, this is day 4, beginning of day 4, and we're on what the outfitter likes to call a goat path. You know, growing up in Maine, we see stuff like this all the time. It's just kind of an old woods tote road, and it's going to take us into a spot that, you know, as far as our guides know, no one has fished yet for this entire season. So these fish are going to be fresh and ready to bite, and I am some excited. You know, we got into this goat trail, as the owner of Pasha Lake Cabins calls it, and we thought these trees were down from wind. And as soon as we got in here, we see these trees are down from beavers, guys. I don't know about the beavers where you're from, but the beavers where I'm from, they don't typically knock down a 20-inch diameter tree. You got to see this; they're everywhere. Look at this one. Look at this, you guys. Look at what they have done. Here, you got to see this one. There's a tree over here that's 24, 25 inches in diameter that they're still working on. Look at this. Unbelievable. They sent us with a chainsaw, which immediately was an indicator that, you know, we might run into stuff like this, and bam. We had a windy day yesterday, and yeah, they know what they're doing though. They send you with a chainsaw, and so we're going to get rid of this problem right now. When we talk about the bugs being thick up here in Canada, we mean it. Look at them. There's probably 150 black flies around my dad's my dad's head here, and that's why we brought these mosquito nets. You know, I don't think the locals use them. They'd probably think we're wimps for putting these on, but I'll tell you what, it's better than scratching yourself all night because of the bug bites you get all day. So
absolutely,
it's a beautiful lake. I mean, it's small, it's easy to explore. It's going to be very easy for my dad and I to get a lot of fishing done all around the lake in various spots that we've been told about. And the best thing is, nobody has been here to fish yet this year that's from our outfitter. So that feels pretty special to be the first ones in. And I'd say it's been a little while because we chainsawed some pretty hefty logs out of the way to get in. So what do you think, Dad?
I think you're absolutely right, Mike. So far on this fishing trip of 4 days, we've earned every trip though into our boat launch.
Fish on.
Okay guys, Dad's got a nice pike on here, the first cast. And there's no embellishment there. This was the very first cast. We rolled into a small bay and it's just chock full of them.
He's barely caught though.
We've seen them all over the place. Right when we rolled up, we started seeing them, and that's how we started off. That's wicked fishing. We just can't start off any better than this, really.
Wow, what a day this is gonna be if it keeps up like this, huh? We will be hammering these babies.
He raced out and hammered it, my walleye rig, which isn't any surprise as these pike are tremendous predators and big time meat eaters. So here he is. He has got some real spawn damage though. I mean, just look at him. It's just, and he came in this way. This has nothing to do with the fight he just gave me. You can see he's got a big bruise there, but they're just in these huge battles with other pike this time of year over spawning rights to certain areas and territories and females. So this is a huge male. You know, he's a 30-incher anyway. And yeah, there it is, guys.
My first walleye ever, Michael, right here.
Yeah, guys, first walleye of the trip, just a little guy.
Not huge, but we can have one over 18 and one under 18.
Each, yeah.
So
we'll be letting him go, but that's still a good
I would
fish.
probably go for a 17 and a half and then a 25. Okay, not very big.
Hey though, you know, anytime you catch a species for the first time,
my first walleye
pretty
ever.
Exciting. Meanwhile, fish on over here. This is hands down, guys, the fastest action we've seen. And
he's 14.
Maybe some of the fastest action I've ever had fishing in my life. Another nice fish. Once again, these are standard. We're catching a lot of them. He's all spawn damaged up. You guys can see he's been in some battles this year. But yeah, I'm happy. I want to peg some walleye though, like my dad just did, and maybe really turn to focusing on that fish. So, all right, guys, it's funny, I was actually trying to deal with a knot in my line with my bait out the back of the boat, and a good sized walleye has hit it. And he's nice. I mean, this is a great walleye. He'll be one of my keepers for the day. That will feed me nicely tonight. We are going to keep these for a fish fry that they're having at Pasha Lake Cabins tonight. And if you guys can get a look at that, look at the teeth on them. They're pretty ferocious too. But for whatever reason, they're not known for cutting your line like pike. So I'm happy with that.
Nice fish, Mike.
A great first walleye of this trip. I mean, he's nice and he's got the beautiful golden gill plates. And gosh,
yeah,
they are.
Nice
They're a beautiful
looking
fish.
Nice eating also.
Trolling up and down the shore here, and Dad pegged a nice walleye. We're gonna bring him into the net. Yeah, Daddy-o. Bring him on over. Sweep that rod tip towards me. Yeah, Dad. This is Dad's actual second walleye, but it's definitely the first one he's gonna keep. We're gonna have a fish fry tonight. All right, guys, Dad just sight fished a beauty on the top water. This will be Dad's best fish of the trip.
Yeah, but
He's only fouled because he swiped. He may have it wrapped around his teeth, so we have a little bit of a sense of urgency with this fish, but not too bad. Oh no, he's got just nothing but leader. We're all set. This is a big fish, guys. This is a beaut. This is a beaut. This is a total beaut.
Sight fished him, and believe it or not, he went after a floating frog.
That's pretty cool, right?
This early in the season.
To get a top water, guys, in May, I mean, maybe it's common up here, but as far as I know for pike fishing, it's not super common. And we've had him chasing it, and Dad just pegged this beauty.
He's got some pretty good looking teeth there, Mike.
Wow, Dad.
Yeah. Fun to watch him whack that little frog on the top of that jitterbug. Just happened I left my jitterbug home while back at camp. Didn't expect to use any top water lures on this little pond, but we may have to come back here again, Michael.
I think we will.
This has been our busiest day so far.
By a long shot,
and
too, right?
A lot of quality pike.
Yeah.
And we've also caught a couple of walleyes. So.
Yep. Nice fish, Dad.
Nice day. There it is. Oh, good set, Mike.
Yeah, he's head thrashing. I was hoping for a walleye, but it's a pike. Yeah, it's a pike. Get that net. Yes, not a bad pike. I mean,
No.
I don't want to sound like I'm complaining with a high 20s pike here.
We're
getting spoiled.
We have caught so many pike from
Well
25 to
average.
30 inches. It's unbelievable.
Well beyond what you consider decent fishing conditions. Certainly the most consistent bite. I mean,
Oh my God, yeah. And
every
they've
time
all,
you put a lure out, it just gets slammed.
there's hardly any little ones. They're all good, good size.
As we neared the end of our 4th day of adventure fishing in Ontario, it was obvious that we had found some hungry fish that hadn't seen a lure in a long time. Even though we spent half the day targeting walleye, the pike were so thick that they consistently intercepted our presentations. After losing several jigs this way, we resolved to return the next day and focus on slamming some more big pike at this small, remote lake with zero fishing pressure. Day 5 found us back on the hunt for some more awesome pike, this time leaving the walleye gear behind so we could focus our efforts on finding some big northerns. We headed back into the same lake we had explored the previous day, and this time we already knew where to find them and how to fish them.
Fish on.
What a nice way to start.
He is strong. He's a early morning biggie. Yes, sir. He's strong. He's got pretty good width on him.
He does. There's a pike right here at the boat. I'm trying to be quiet, guys. He's just following my spinnerbait everywhere I go. If we get out over a sand flat, you're gonna be able to see him really good. Okay, you guys are gonna be able to see him as he moves out over this sand flat. Here he is. In just a second, I do. Okay, guys,
what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have my dad. Oh, Dad, don't move much. Don't move. Don't move. He's a good size fish. Oh. All right, Dad, drop it in. Drop it in. Here we go, guys. Dad's just gonna lower this bait down to him. Here he goes. He sees it. He's gonna come and shrimp it. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Another whopper. Want me to show him?
Sure.
Can't help but see that fish. That is a beauty. Probably.
Hailed the bait. It's in front of him. In front of him.
Ooh, look at that.
Yes, sir.
Set. Oh, what a nice fish, Mike. That's gonna.
Oh, wow.
This sight fishing is unbelievable.
This is a good fish.
And this pond.
This is a big, healthy pike. Oh, yeah.
Wow, look at that splash. Oh, nice pike. Nice color. Doesn't look too.
Oh, it's a pike for Mike.
Yes, sir. Another good one.
He is a good one.
And it's not all banged up. It's not
Not even bleeding.
spawn damage on it or anything. So,
And so, again, you know, we saw him laying in just a couple feet of water, tossed a lure. He raced at it, hammered it.
there's some really nice pike in this little small lake. And
That is just a gem, Dad. Look at him.
I know it. Look at that. Look at the girth and the width on that baby. That is a beautiful fish, Mike. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see a good smile.
Happy fisherman.
Yes, sir.
Top water time. Oh, it's a good fish.
A nice fish.
Oh, it's a good fish, Dad.
Nice fat.
Holy Moses. On the top water, you stuck him with both hooks. Well done. Another good fish here, guys. Dad's only got a single hook in him. Oh, he's got a big wide back. Wow. Ready, sir?
Coming in. Nice fish. Closing out Wednesday. It's 10 of 6 here in Northern Ontario. And we're having a pretty darn good time here catching these northern pike. And there's certainly plenty of them. I've caught them on jitterbugs. I've caught them on rubber frogs. I love the floating ones because you get so much action.
Oh, the top water's awesome.
All the top water's been just super.
All right, guys, we're here, up here in Northwest Ontario, and we're finally making the adventure out onto the big lake. We got an awesome guide, and Gus here, he's a local, grew up here, knows the water really well. He's really used to taking people out looking for the big brook trout. And certainly after slamming the pike all these days, it's time to focus on some big trout today. I know that's one of Dad's real big objectives on this trip. And I would love to see, you know, a couple of really nice brookies in the net here at Lake Nipigon. Our guide Gus has brought us to this rocky shoal. We're some 14 miles out into the middle of Lake Nipigon now, guys. And really, you know, it's beautiful because we get to target this island and all these rocky shoals around it where the brook trout like to be in this cold water. And luckily we got a guy who's done this his whole life. He really knows what he's doing, and it's just gonna be a tremendous day. I got a great feeling about it. We've only been fishing here about 5 minutes. Daddy-O with a fish on a silver blue fox.
Big friggin' fish, baby.
And we got Gus here with the net. And we think it's a pike, Gus. Okay, this is only 8-pound leader, so if he gets it in his teeth, that's probably gonna be that. We were fishing for brookies. And we gotta play him out here a little bit, guys, because again, we're on brookie gear. That's important to know. We're on 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, nothing steel. So their teeth are gonna cut right through it if he rolls on it just right, but it looks like a good hook for this scenario.
Oh my.
Gus got him.
I was lucky to get him in.
That feels like a brookie.
It's a
He
brook.
doesn't feel massive, but he feels good.
It's nice.
I'll take that net from you, Gus.
Good. He's coming.
Here we go, guys. Hopefully this will be that first brook trout of the day. It's a nice brook trout, guys. What a great start to the trout day. It's just a beautiful, beautiful brookie. You get that lovely coloring. I love the way they got the banded fins with the white, the black, and the red.
Yes, nice catch.
Just a great start to the brook trout day. Thanks a lot, Gus. Holy moly, this is a good brook trout. If we could put this in, this is going to be the best brook trout you've ever caught. Keep that tip high.
I don't want to lose him because of the drag.
Oh no! Get him, Gus. Yeah, Dad.
Is that a fatty?
Woo! What are you throwing to get that fish, Dad?
A red and white. It's a red and white, right? What's the actual Gus? What's its name? Oh, right.
A little Cleo spoon.
Little Cleo red and white. What a nice.
Yep, we got about a 20-inch brookie there.
Wow.
Holy moly, or a speck. I guess it's a speckled trout up here.
Speckled.
It's like Gus said, they got no brooks. Hey, there he goes. Hey, it's a good release.
That's the release.
Hey, hi-yo. Right, fish on here, casting into the rocky bank. Looks like a nice brook trout. It's gonna be my best trout.
Okay, you got the net then?
I'll get it. I'm real happy about that.
All right.
You know, we had a little slow period there, but we picked it right back up. Gus moved us. He thought we might have better luck up here, and sure enough, 5 minutes into the new spot. Thanks, Gus. This is just 30 seconds apart, guys, here. And Dad's got a real big fish here. This may be one of those keeper 22s.
Got some nice color.
You want to go down below to do him?
And we got him.
Gear check.
Okay guys, for today's gear check, we're gonna keep it simple. For the pike, we threw things like weedless spinner baits, big soft plastic swim baits, jointed crankbaits, Rapala style, and of course, topwater frogs. For the walleye, we got them mostly on conventional jigs with soft plastic curly tails or swim tails. As for the brook trout, we did really well on typical spoons and also on these fuzzy grubs. And the lake trout, 3 of our big lake trout were caught on a fuzzy grub.
A big kind of cut that goes up into the island is where we were fishing for brookies, and now He's got us at a major creek outlet where some warmer water's coming out. And we're gonna try to target some pike monsters here, hopefully. And you know, big fish, big bait. It's a decent fish, guys.
Yeah,
This
okay.
will be right up there with one of the best I've caught on the trip. Throwing a huge swim bait helps you catch big fish. But I'm gonna bring you in, whether you like it or not. I'm real happy with that, a good thick pike.
Yeah.
After an incredible day of guided fishing on Lake Nipigon, we were feeling blessed to have shared such an amazing fishing vacation together. We had landed monster pike, giant brookies, and even a few decent walleye. Little did we know at the time that some of our best fish were still to come during an impromptu shore fishing effort on the way back to the airport.
What makes Pasha Lake such a special place? What makes it set apart from the rest?
Well, I know you're talking about what makes it special for the guests, but I think what makes it a special atmosphere, first and foremost here, is the guests. You know, this is why we do it, is because of people like you and your dad who's filming this. This is, that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, people wouldn't come here if the fishing wasn't good. You know, as much as I like to think I'm a nice guy and we put on a good show here, you know, if the fishing isn't good, people aren't going to come back. And
Sure.
we have guests that have been coming here for over 40 years. And that really speaks to the fishing in this area. And of course, we've only owned it for 12 years, so you don't come back to an area for that long if the fishing isn't good.
Great. And then can you speak a little bit about, you know, you like to bill it as adventure fishing.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
It is. It's just that, you know, all these lakes are remote access. You know, these don't have boat landings where you're going to back a boat into and go fishing for the day. These lakes, you know, you have to cut trails. We've cut trails into them. But, yeah, it's all logging road access and goat paths getting to the lakes. And, again, that's why the fishing's so special.
Awesome. Well, Chad, I really appreciate it. It's been a stellar week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, for sure.
All right.
As if our Ontario fishing vacation hadn't been awesome enough, we decided to make one last stop on the way back to the airport. Following Chad's advice, we braved the pouring rain and stopped off for a few casts on the Nipigon River below one of its major dams.
We decided to come and fish the Nipigon River right below a dam, and I threw a Colorado Special, the old flying bubble, a 6-foot leader, on a 3-inch minnow fly, a clouser, and bam, got him on a swing drift. Yeah, just ripping him in, beauty, probably 24, maybe 25 inches, nice and heavy, probably a 4-pounder or so, maybe even 5. But you know, I just can't complain with that.
Nice, Mike. Nice. We earned it in the rain.
Who knew we could have stopped at the Nipigon Dam and bombed them like this, guys? This thing is just an animal.
Hey, baby. Hey, this helps make the trip. I
Wow.
don't get many of these out of the West Branch. Hi, buddy.
Wow. Wow.
That's worth the trip right there, baby.
It's a big old lake trout. I can see him. Wow. You know, you fight a fish like this in the river current, combine it with size, and then you add a light rod. and you have got the ingredients for quite a time. He's a fighter. He's big. Wow, I am so happy with what we've done on this trip, and I can't thank my dad enough for bringing me, my wife, Chad Thompson, for putting us on the spots, our guide Gus on Nipigon. Everyone, thank you so much for this experience. Well guys, thanks for joining us today on the Colorado Wickedfisha. You know, my dad and I, we had an absolutely epic time making the fishing trip of a lifetime to Northwest Ontario in Canada. We headed up to Pasha Lake Cabins, way up north, and Chad Thompson and his whole crew, they treated us really, really well. We had an amazing 3-species trip to start. You know, we put a few walleye, we put a couple of nice brook trout, and then we put some really amazing pike in the net. And then just as an afterthought, we said, hey, we'll stop by this dam in the town of Nipigon and fish. And we made it a 4-species trip by bagging some beautiful lake trout. So it has just been a great adventure. What do you think, Dad?
I would agree with you, Michael. 2 years in a row, he's been able to send me to a trip for 4 species of trout. Last year was in Colorado. This year we had a variety here in Nipigon and up into Pasha Lake Cabins, and it's just been a wonderful 8 days. Absolutely wonderful. It makes it worth that 1,352 miles I had to travel each way by myself.
Yeah, guys, so we traveled far, we put in the time, we made thousands of casts over this past week, and it's paid off, and I really, really hope you guys enjoyed it. So thanks a lot for stopping by the Colorado Wickedfisha.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Next year.